Thanks for coming here, the Cord on the Street. I will be keeping your arm immobilized after you fall out of a tree while trying to impress your middle school crush. I'm your sling host, Vince, and he can blend a smoothie for you, he can assassinate your political rival, and he was eliminated first on the second season of The Masked Singer. He's your ninja host, Josh. How are we doing today, Josh?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Just another day in the life.
Yeah, I feel that. Just another day of the week.
Yeah, that's for sure. Do you have a fun fact for us this week? I'm going to keep asking you until you bring one.
And you're just going to keep putting me on the spot for fun facts?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I have a fun fact? Yeah, I'm going to go back to something that we've already talked about. And my fun fact is that koalas are cute.
Are they, though?
They are, very much so.
I don't know about that, but okay.
So much that we had a baby shower for Mike at work on Friday of last week. And he got little koala shirts and stuff for the baby.
That's weird.
Nope, because koalas are cute.
It's inappropriate for a child to be looking at that.
Be looking at koalas?
Yeah.
No.
Disturbing. They're just going to think that everybody looks like an overinflated basketball.
Oh, man.
It's my one point, and I'm going to stick to it.
Never going to give up on the koala cuteness, huh?
Nah.
We're going to keep doing it until you give in.
Maybe I will one day.
One day you will
for your birthday,
of
maybe.
Koala cuteness.
Let's not go that far. I will stop caring about koala cuteness.
Let's see, that's just as bad. You should be caring about the cuteness of koalas. They are undeniably cute.
How do you even know that koalas are real? Have you ever seen a koala in person outside of a zoo? Because those are just animatronics.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't.
Yeah. Okay. That case in point. Bingo, bongo.
So in that, tigers aren't real. Lions aren't real. Giraffes aren't real. Elephants aren't real. Just so you know, Vince is telling you that all animals that you have not seen in their wild habitat are fake.
Correct.
Here first.
And that is the stance that we are taking here on Quirk on the Street. As a company, as a brand, we are staking our claim on that. Animals are not real if you have not seen them with your naked eye. Even then, that's suspect. It's suspect. How do you know what you're seeing is real? Okay, we're Quirk on the Street. We obviously choose one word from Quirtle. Each week, there's 28 words. We choose one of them. We bring that word. We do whatever the hell we can based on them. I talked about koalas and how uncute they are once. And Josh just cannot let it go. Such a little, I don't know, something about it. Who goes first this week, Josh?
That would be you, sir.
Me. That's what I thought.
I believe so.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to not be that. All right. The word that I'm bringing this week is horse.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't put much in the doc.
No.
It's
very much a surprise.
It's about measurements. Here's the fun thing is where I started with this is horsepower. Right.
Okay.
And then I started thinking about other like weird ways that we measure things.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with horsepower and then move on from there to weirder and weirder things. Do you know what horsepower is? What it is an actual measurement of?
No. I mean, I know obviously the measurement of like how much power an engine can put out, which equates to torque and all that stuff, but I don't know specifically what it's a measurement of. No.
So specifically, it's a measurement of how high a horse can raise water in a mill.
Wait, what?
So when James Watt was inventing his steam engine, he needed a way to market it, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that people used, his envisioned application for his engine was taking the place of horses in mills. So he was observing mill horses and was trying to determine how much work they could do. And that's what he measured. He measured that a mill horse, could push about 180 pounds. So he was trying to equate how much work they could do in a minute. And he determined that they could do 33,000 foot-pounds of work in 1 minute. Foot-pounds per minute, 33,000. And that is what he called a horsepower.
Oh.
Obviously.
So 1 horsepower is equivalent to 33,000?
Foot-pounds of work in 1 minute. This article puts it like this in a visual way. Picture a 1,000 foot deep well, right? And there is a 33-pound bucket on the end of a rope. 1 horsepower is 60 seconds of that. 1 horse could pull up that 33-pound bucket of water 1,000 feet in 60 seconds. That's what a horsepower is.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, well, that's how we think about cars.
Yeah, every time I'm on the road and there's not a bucket on a rope attached behind every car, I'm going to be disappointed.
My car could bring a 33-pound bucket of water up a 20,000 foot deep well in 60 seconds. That's how much more powerful my car is than a horse.
Stupid horse.
Stupid horses. What did they even think they were doing? Yeah, man. So that's what we do. We figure out weird ways to measure things. So I started looking at other weird ways we measure things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get away from horses for a little bit. Because there's hands. You know what a hand is?
Yeah, it's the thing attached to my wrist that allows me to pick things up.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's the thing. Yeah, it's the thing that if you're looking at your arm from your elbow, it's the thing on the opposite side of your wrist. Right? But it's how people measure horses. I don't know why.
Wait, actually, there's probably how you measure horses?
Yeah.
Like, measure what on horses?
The size of horses.
Their length and stuff?
Their height, yeah.
How many hands tall is this horse?
Basically, yeah. Have you ever watched Seabiscuit?
Once a while ago, yeah.
Seabiscuit was like a small horse. He was like 15 hands or something like that. It's literally like the size of a hand.
Apparently, they literally just started. They just didn't have rulers when they did this, and they were like, "Well, What do we have? I have a hand. How many of my hand?"
Yeah, exactly.
And we just kept it.
I mean, it's only in very specific applications now. It's like horse breeding, and not much else. Apparently, let's see. I just looked it up. It started in ancient Egypt. So it was literally like, oh my God, what is this diagram even showing?
So you're telling me they could build pyramids, but the best thing that they could come up with to measure stuff was their hand.
No, they also had the cubit, Josh. Get with the program. I don't know what a cubit is.
Yeah, me neither. So,
but a hand apparently is the measurement that a standard person, like, it's approximately from the tip of your pinky to the tip of your thumb, but it was defined. It's 4 inches exactly.
So a hand is 4 inches.
Yeah, now it's 4 inches.
That is tiny hand.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, I guess it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a really small hand. Like, because it's what you said they're measuring from the base of your palm to the tip of your finger.
No. Hold on. I don't know what. There's a diagram on the Wikipedia page for hand as a unit. And I can't really tell what it is. There's lines all over this fucking hand.
Hold on.
From the base, from the heel of your palm to the tip of your thumb. If you close your thumb from the edge of your palm to the edge of your thumb, and then there's like from the tip of your thumb to the tip of your pinky, and then I guess from the base of your hand to the first joint, and then to the last joint. I don't know what any of that means.
Me neither, but that is very confusing to look at. Like, I don't understand the point of that.
Whatever, it's 4 inches now.
That just makes no sense.
Yeah, so this is how we measure horses, or this is how horse racers measure horses. Horse racers also use horses for a lot of other things, like the amount that a horse wins a race. The amount that a horse wins a race by is determined by the horse length, which apparently has been standardized to approximately 8 feet. So a horse is approximately 8 feet long, so they use horse length.
So some NBA players could be like horse length or close to it.
Yeah, I mean, like Yao Ming was like 7/8 of a horse length.
Let's see. Tallest.
Now these are weird ones, right? Like I looked up unusual measurements, and luckily there's a Wikipedia article list of unusual measurements, and that's where I got these ones from. But there's also other weird ones, like that we just sort of take for granted are weird, like the acre.
Yeah, that is a weird measurement.
Do you know how the acre was determined?
No. I just know that it's the only used for measuring land, and that's it.
Yeah. An acre is determined, it's defined as the area of one chain by one furlong, obviously.
Yeah, because that explains it well.
It is generally considered to be the area of land that can be plowed by one man using a team of oxen in one day.
These are the dumbest units of measurement possible.
Yeah, man. Just wait. Because, like I said, it's determined by one chain by one furlong, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you want to know how the unit of one chain was determined?
Shoot, let's hear it.
One chain is approximately 100 links.
Oh.
And one link is determined by the length that some dude made each link in his chain of 100 links. So Gunter, just like Edmund Gunter, sorry, he has a first name. He just like made Gunter's chain in 1620, and then that became the standard unit of measurement for like surveying somehow.
Oh,
so yeah, he made this chain with 100 links. That became one chain long. and then one furlong is determined by being 10 chains long. Is just a fucking circle jerk of measurements for no reason.
Yeah.
The acre is defined by chain by furlong, and a furlong is defined by chain. Why not just say 1 by 10 chains?
Yeah. Because stupid, that's why.
Whatever. The people who've thought of all that are dead now.
I guess we just take for granted the fact that we have like universalized measurement systems for the most part now.
I mean, kind of. Everything's sort of defined by natural units now, at least. Yeah. Even in the United States.
Now, where if an acre didn't exist, right, we could use some form of foot, or cubic feet measurement to associate it.
That's what an acre is already. But like, yeah, I mean, I guess there's the hectare, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how anybody other than the United States measures land, because it's based on the metric system, which makes sense. But yeah. There's also a lot of other weird ones, like the board foot. I am a hobbyist woodworker, so I had to learn what a board foot is. But it's literally how you like measure a unit of lumber. It's defined by 1 inch thick board by 1 foot by 1 foot. So if you have like just a small panel, it's 1 inch thick and 12 inches square, that's 1 board foot.
Okay.
There's a calculation for like how you can calculate like a 3/4 inch thick board and stuff like that. But that's generally it. I think that's more for commerce, though. That does actually make sense.
Yeah.
Something that makes sense, but like is not intuitive at all, is Fahrenheit. Do you know how the Fahrenheit temperature scale was developed?
Yeah, it's based off of our heat, isn't it?
More or less, yeah. It's based off of the human body.
Human body, yeah. Or like 0 is the normal human body temperature or something.
Nope. It is 100 is supposed to be the human body temperature.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, with his measurement capabilities back then, he wasn't that far off, like 98.6.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Which is considered normal. Although I apparently defy that because I measure at 97 degrees no matter what.
You're just cold-blooded.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. But then, in order to determine the scale, he ran a bunch of experiments. What is the change in temperature that his subjects could detect? And that is how the scale of Fahrenheit was developed.
Oh.
So you could feel the difference between 71 and 70 degrees.
Okay.
Apparently, this is supposed to scale all the way down. Like, you're supposed to supposedly be able to feel the difference between 22 and 23 degrees.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that's reasonable.
So,
and it's like, how many people were in the study, because everyone's different. Yeah.
That's why the human body sucks as a
test
measurement tool. Yeah. I have one more fun one and then a list of fun ones that I'm going to go through that I haven't actually looked at yet.
Oh boy.
But do you know of anything like this where it's a seemingly arbitrary unit of measurement that is standard use?
Yes. I don't know how it's done because I can't remember because it's been so long since I learned about it, but picas and points in design, or like columns. So like when you go to a newspaper, they'll tell you the space for your ad is like 3 column by 2 column or something like that. I'm like, just tell me the measurement. Those would be, they're just weird measurement. Like same thing, like points are used for font weight, obviously.
Oh yeah, sure. I get what you're saying now.
They're just like really random and specific to that.
Since the 18th century, the size of a point has been between 0.18 and 0.4 millimeters.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, and then a pica. I forget what a pica is considered.
Pica. How is that even spelled?
PICA. Pica is a typographic unit of measurement corresponding to approximately 1/6 of an inch.
Obviously.
In printing, 3 pica measurements are used. The French pica of 12 diat point, generally 12 by 0.376. The American, so there's different ones, and then there's like a contemporary computer PostScript pica, which is used for fonts. So it's literally just pretty much for measuring only typographic units.
Cool.
Yeah. So that would be like one that I use consistently. Like obviously, like I don't think about it, but on a daily basis, I'm changing the point size. Actually, most people are if you're doing any kind of typing on the computer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something we don't really think about. We don't use point for anything else.
Think of the like A paper system.
Oh, for like lettering. Or for like paper sizes, same thing for like envelopes.
Like I can't figure this out. There's no like obvious like definition of this. I mean, they're defined, but there's no way. Why are they defined like this?
It's probably just standardized printing based on what they were making.
I know that they're based on the golden ratio. So as you fold A0 in half of A0 is A1 with the correct proportion. And then if you fold A1 in half, it's A2 with the correct proportion, and so on and so forth down the stack. But how is A0 defined? It's 841 by 1188 millimeters, or 33 1/8 inches by 46 13/16 inches.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Yeah, right?
They're like, this is this. Deal with it.
That's it. That's how we do paper now. Didn't you guys get the memo? Obviously not, because you printed it on the wrong size paper.
Yeah. I guess like nits would be another one. We're talking about like screen brightness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like nits is a weird one because it's comparative, right?
Yeah.
Like something you have to have the correct ambient light in order to correctly measure nits because it is compared to the ambient light.
Yeah.
Which is I think at least. I don't know.
I believe you're right.
I wasn't really like into HDR stuff when I was searching, shopping for my last monitor. So I didn't really dig into what a nit is. But yeah, the last fun one that I looked at that I have is the Waffle House Index.
The what?
The Waffle House Index.
Oh. And you just measure stuff by how many of them you can fit inside of a Waffle House?
No, it's a measure of natural disasters based on how many Waffle Houses remain open.
That might be my favorite thing I've heard all last week.
The index is based on Waffle House's reputation for having good disaster preparedness and staying open during extreme weather or reopening quickly afterwards. The levels are green, yellow, and red. Green means that the majority of the restaurants have power and damage is limited. They have a full menu. Yellow, it means they have limited their menu and have no power or power from a generator and only some food supplies. Red means that you can't get to them.
Red means you can't eat at Waffle House.
Yes, this is precisely it, yeah.
I wonder if you could, that would be a hilarious, like, YouTube short or something. Like, you know how people do, like, the random questions when they walk up to strangers and just ask them random things? Like, super popular on the internet, no? Like, what if we did that in the South?
Yeah.
We were like, how do you measure Waffle Houses? Like, what? Or just, do you know what the Waffle House scale is? And see how many people actually know what that is.
Yeah, it's funny.
It can't be very many.
This was coined by the former administrator of FEMA. So it's unofficial, but it is a real metric that FEMA has used. He is quoted as saying, if you go there and Waffle House is closed, that's pretty bad.
We don't have Waffle Houses, so like that unit of measurement just doesn't apply.
Oh God, we're
up here.
We're basically dead up here.
We're always a disaster.
It's constantly a disaster.
Yeah. However, will we record in these states? These conditions are terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's the last one that I had picked out. Now, I realized on Wikipedia there's also an article that is titled List of Humorous Units of Measurement.
Oh boy.
I haven't really looked through this yet, so let me see if any of these actually make sense to me. Here is a unit of measurement based on Zork, you know, the text-based adventure game.
Who's measuring stuff like that?
In the Zork series, the Underground Empire has its own system of measurements. The most frequently referenced is the Bloit, defined as the distance that the king's favorite pet can run in 1 hour. It is approximately 2/3 of a mile. Cool.
Wow. I don't know how I ever lived without knowing that before.
The Beard Second.
The Beard Second.
Yeah, is the unit of length inspired by the light year, but applicable in extremely short distances, such as those in integrated circuits. It is the length an average beard grows in 1 second.
Oh.
Google Calculator defines it as 5 nanometers.
I'm just gonna sit here with my beard and test that.
Yeah, we're both bearded individuals. We should try to empirically measurement. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the Mugger Cigar.
The what?
The Mugger Cigar. The Mugger Cigar.
Can you say that 10 times fast?
Let's see if let's see. Nope, doesn't have a pronunciation. I'm gonna say the Mugger Cigar. Let's see. It's a humorous Alemannic German idiom used in Swabia to designate a non-specific, very small length or amount of something. It refers to a housefly's scrotum.
Somebody back then was just like, Mm-hmm. Somebody got really high on marijuana for the first time and was like, I need to measure this. But I don't have anything. Then a fly landed and they were just like,
This was coined in 2009.
They were like, let me grab this fly, see how many flies this is. And then they were like, well, it's too big. And they were like, well, let me just use its nutsack.
Well, I think of this This actually reminds me, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to find this. There's a YouTuber, AVE, Arduino versus Evil, whatever. He's a Canadian hobbyist machinist, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's very funny. Like, watch some of his videos because they are legitimately funny and interesting. But he sold a ruler at some point, and on the ruler he has a blonde one, a brunette one, and I don't know, I guess a red one or something. He, I think, defines it as the thickness of varying hair-colored ladies' pubic hairs.
Oh, so, yeah.
So a blonde one is obviously very, very thin.
Oh, and a medium.
Yeah.
To
a machinist, it's thick. Much thicker. Yeah.
Them thick, coarse redheads. I have a red beard, so I know the pain.
Let's see. Are there any other interesting ones? A Scaramucci. A Scaramucci is 11 days and is named after the length of White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci's tenure under President Trump.
Oh.
So 11 days, because that's how long he was the communications director. Hey. Oh, the banana equivalent dose. Do you know about this one?
No.
I actually did know this one. The banana equivalent dose is the amount of radiation that is considered to be negligibly small because bananas are radioactive.
Oh,
but like not harmfully so.
So I'm looking up some of them. Here's one that either wasn't on your list or you haven't got to yet. A Mickey, which is named after Mickey Mouse and is the length of the smallest detectable movement of a computer's mouse, which is equivalent to 0.1 millimeters.
Isn't this just a pixel?
Maybe.
Is a pixel larger than 0.1 millimeters?
Let's find out.
I mean, I have like a 1440p monitor. It depends on the resolution.
0.01. So it would technically be 10 pixels. Right?
Oh,
right?
I guess. Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
It is what's the term? Obsolete now? It's obsolete. Forget Mickey. We're on to Donald's. Ducks. Donald Duckses.
Yeah. Oh, or how about this one? The Jiffy. Comes from the computing field. 1 Jiffy is the duration of 1 tick of the system timer. It's usually 0.01 seconds. But in some earlier systems, such as the Commodore 8-bit computer, the Jiffy was defined as 1/60th of a second, roughly equal to the frequency of AC electric power in North America and the vertical blinking of the NTSC screens. So when somebody says I'll be there in a jiffy, they mean in 0.01 seconds.
Yeah, that's exactly how I did. Yeah.
I mean, I'm always.
That's what I mean when I say that.
Yeah, I move like Flash Gordon, and I'm like, be there in
Yep.
Oh, I'm here.
Flash.
You get there before you finish saying jiffy.
Yep. If you go fast enough, you can get there before you leave. So.
Mind-boggling.
Yep. What is that thought experiment? There's like an anti-time telephone thought experiment that like you could conceivably call yourself in the past if you can transmit the data fast enough or some shit like that. I
don't know. I'm just gonna read you the definition of this one and then tell you what it is. So coined by Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew on the radio show Loveline as a measurement of how bad something smells, ranging from 0 to 100. Anything near 100, hobo would smell bad enough to cause death by asphyxiation. So that is a measurement of hobo power.
Okay.
So
I enjoy that.
Yeah. And then we have donkey power, a playful engineering unit defined as 250 watts, approximately 1/3 of a horsepower.
Yeah. A Sagan. A Sagan is defined. It's a unit of quantity. It is defined as billions and billions.
Okay then.
Technically, at least 4 billion, because he said that a lot. Billions and billions. But we can keep doing this, but while we do this and dick around, what is this? This one, the Jimmy Griffin Snow Index. I'm just going to read this one and react to it in real time. Television station WKBW-TV in Buffalo, New York, developed the Jimmy Griffin Snow Index to measure the potential severity of a snowstorm. Named after Buffalo Mayor James Griffin, who in 1985 earned the nickname Six-Pack Jimmy after suggesting residents grab a six-pack of Genesee beer to wait out an upcoming snowstorm. The index is measured in cans of beer, with roughly 1 can for every 4 inches of expected snowfall.
That is way too little beer for that amount.
Thus, Griffin's six-pack would be recommended for a storm that brings 2 feet of snow.
Look, I'm going to need at least a 30 rack if I'm getting 2 feet of snow. Because I'm going to be that depressed that I'm going to have to drink it all.
But it's Genesee beer, famously made with water from the Genesee River, and you don't want to intake too much of that in 2 days. With 2 feet of snow.
I'm looking at these and it's making me like remember ones that we use on an everyday basis you don't even think about. So like a smidgen.
Okay, sure.
The half a pinch or 1/32 of a teaspoon.
Yeah, I knew that one was defined, but it's like, whatever.
A pat of butter, 1/3 of an ounce.
I know that there's another concept called an arbitrary unit of measurement.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like how we measure just like casual things casually, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like saying something is however many football fields long. Like it's not an actual unit of measurement, it's an arbitrary unit of measurement. But yeah, it's interesting.
A hogshead, specifically 63 gallons of wine, is a term dating back to at least the 15th century. It might be a corruption of the term hogshead, which might make clearer sense for referring to a wine container, but we really don't know where the word comes about. These casks are also repurposed to mature whiskey, so a barrel for aging wine or whiskey is 1 hogshead.
Yeah. Huh. What about stone?
Yeah, that's how they measure weight in the UK. Or like over
in some places in the UK, I believe.
Well, I know like London and stuff, or like Manchester, places like that. Because when I was playing Call of Duty with all my friends from across the pond, they would always refer to themselves in a certain amount of stone when they were talking about their size.
Is an English and imperial unit of mass equal to 14 pounds. How is it defined? Oh my god. Each of these fucking places had their own individual stone that they weighed things based on.
Wow.
So it's not defined. It's just they're like, ugh, that thing seems heavy. We should measure things based on it.
How many of these things equal that thing? Okay, that's
I can lift at least 3 of them.
How about a butt? A butt holds about 132 gallons. So when someone tells you they drank a buttload last night, they're either lying or dead.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one too. That is funny. But to transition to an actual, I don't know, serious question, I guess, because these are fun and all, but we live in the real world. We have real issues to deal with, Josh.
Yeah.
Fucking read a book. Metric or imperial? Which do you like conceptually? Because obviously we don't have like a inherent understanding of the metric system, right?
Yeah.
But conceptually, which do you prefer?
I mean, I prefer the imperial, but that's just because we use it. But I wish we all used the metric so that way everybody was on the same.
Yep. Yeah.
I think having it split, it's the same thing as like Fahrenheit and Celsius. I wish we would just make the switch to Celsius like the rest of the world.
Yeah. You know, technically, we are already on the metric system because all of the imperial measurements are now defined by the metric system.
Okay.
Because this is like recursion going all the way down. But the metric system decided to, the SI, the Standard Institute or whatever, decided to define all their measurements based on natural phenomenon. Because like 1 meter was defined as some proportion of the northmost point of France to the southmost point of France, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the scientists ended up deciding, like, we can't base it on that. Land moves. What are you guys talking about? So they defined it based on like some natural phenomenon. It's whatever, some 100,000s of length of an atom or something like that. So those are based on natural things. And because of that, scientists were like, well, a foot really should be defined by the meter. And then they did. So now a foot is some proportion of a meter by definition. Where was I going with this? Whatever. The interesting thing, I think, is that Imperial is actually still preferred by certain people. Those people being like craftsmen, for the simple reason that it is so easy to divide fractions.
Yeah, rather than decimals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you have something that's, 5 millimeters wide or whatever, or 5 centimeters wide, like it has to be, 25 centimeters is the middle point, and then you have to like figure that out. Or sometimes it could fall in the middle of a millimeter, and then you got to use like calipers to mark it. But like I have a measurement. I measure something at 1330 seconds, right? I want to take the middle point of that, so I just do 13/64 instead. Yeah. It's so easy to define things that way. It's not easy to deal with that stuff. Sometimes you're looking at like an eighths ruler and you have to like count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but you kind of always have to do that.
Yeah. Here's one that I'm surprised you didn't bring up.
Uh-huh.
A finger, like when measuring shots.
Yeah.
Or drinks.
That one wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
What is that even based on? Is it it's the amount of liquor that it takes up in like a standard rocks glass, right?
Noah Webster measured the breadth of a finger and nailed it down as 3/4 of an inch, but finger has been used as a lot of units of measurements. Thus, it's not always clear whether we're talking about the width of a finger, like when your bartender pours you 2 fingers of booze. So, yes, it's a finger would be 3/4 of an inch.
But yeah, in what?
It was used as width of a finger.
Okay, yeah. No, I get that. I know that, but like the thing that you're pouring it into matters. I have a highball glass.
Yeah.
That I have for my drink tonight. A finger
of that changes based is different than another glass. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be different than the finger of my rocks glass.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't talk about that, so apparently it doesn't matter.
Would fill a glass to the level of one finger wrapped around the glass at the bottom. There are 3, what do you call them here? Notations. Holy shit.
Brain shut down for a minute.
Yeah, man. Oh my god. Why is it just linked to a fucking whole Google book? I can't read this. This is in some ridiculous non-sans font. I can't do this. I don't really have much else. Do you have any other? Go real quick. Any other weird measurements? I love these things.
No, not that I could think of. Okay, here's one. The mother cow index. Another extremely rare item on this list. The mother cow index is pretty strange. It's the number of pregnant cows in which the mother cow part comes from on an acre of a spot of land that an acre of spot of land could support. So how many pregnant cows can you fit on your land?
Okay, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I think that's about the last good one that I have for you.
Let's see. Are there any other interesting ones that I missed? How about a soul? This one's not really funny. It is the length of a day on Mars. Why? Who knows? Probably Isaac Asimov.
Well, I hope I never have to use that measurement.
Oh, Scoville heat unit.
That's true.
It is the degree of dilution in sugar water of a specific chili pepper extract when a panel of 5 tasters can no longer detect its heat. What is... Yeah. All right, that's all I got.
What a smooth transition we have.
That's all I got. We'll be back with you in just a snagglefugle.
I stared at the Lord list this week so much, and it's just like the most blank stare you could ever imagine. So I finally decided to settle on QUIRK. And I was thinking about, being quirky, that kind of stuff. Then it made me think of Captain Quark from Ratchet and Clank. And I was like, his name is a quirky way of spelling quirk. So I figured let's talk about video game characters.
Well, you know that he's named after a subatomic particle, right?
Shh.
Gotcha.
Make it make sense.
I will. Yeah, okay. I see where you're going with this.
See? Who would have ever guessed? Yeah, so it made me think about him. For some reason, my brain just kept saying, "Oh, Captain Quark." But yeah, I figured we could have a nice little discussion on game characters.
All right.
So I will lead off with what or who is your favorite video game character?
I don't know.
Well, time to decide.
I play a lot of faceless like blank slate main character games.
Oh, well, too bad. Pick one.
I'm gonna choose the square from Geometry Dash.
You have played a ton of other games before you got into your indie game kick.
Yeah, but I'm looking through the whole thing. Like, how do we define? Do they have to be game specific, game of origin?
Yes, they have to be an IP that was created in the gaming universe, not a game made from something else.
I don't know. I like some characters. I don't know if I have a particular favorite character. What's his bucket? The Praise the Sun dude from Dark Souls is pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good one. Solaire is a good one. Yep.
Shoot McFacey is pretty good.
Shoot McFacey?
Yeah. It's the guy in Borderlands 2 that you shoot in the face.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. This is a hard question for me. Like the bad guy from Danganronpa is pretty good. Kumo something or other. He's pretty good, but I never actually finished that game, so I don't know if I could pick him.
See, mine is easy.
Yeah, I know yours is easy.
No, it's not. It's not even who you think or what you think.
Oh?
Claptrap.
Oh, yeah, Claptrap is pretty good.
He's great. Their writing behind him is always hilarious. Yeah. And it's across 3 games too that it's good. It's not just he had he was in one game and then became not funny in the next.
I get that. Yeah, for sure.
He would be my favorite. What about most memorable? Do you have a most memorable character moment or most memorable moment in a video game?
I mean, Claptrap is pretty memorable. Everything about him.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is there a specific moment of time in that character's story that is memorable for you?
It is. No stairs. Yes, his enemy stairs.
Running through a world scattered with bandits in a wasteland, but stairs are the most terrifying thing.
I mean, he just can't do them. He's only got one wheel, my man. I feel like I should just fire up Marvel vs. Capcom and see if I can pick a character from there.
Yeah, that would be a decent one.
An error occurred. Missing executable. All right.
Guess you're not firing that one up there, buddy.
Guess I can't do that.
See, my most memorable character, I think, has to go to Psycho Mantis.
Yeah.
I would just never forget that whole scene. Him talking about how he became what he is.
Yeah.
And getting out of that room. That fight. Looking back at it, and I guess I might just be biased because it's my favorite, but every boss fight in Metal Gear was great.
Yeah. I know. That's where my mind started to go, is Metal Gear games. but it's like, I don't know. Can you really? I don't know. I have a weird sort of hang up when somebody asks me for my favorite thing. Like, I almost try to think of the not most popular things. Like, I could have just thought of Metal Gear Solid and said Revolver Ocelot, because Revolver Ocelot is fucking cool. Yeah. He becomes a different character because he gets another character's arm. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yep.
But like, I don't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, everything about that franchise is memorable. I mean,
absolutely.
You have so many different characters. The writing and character development in those games is just on another level.
It's just because it's silly. Like, it seems like Hideo Kojima just like never says no to himself.
Yeah, exactly. He just finds ways to make things work.
It's not even that. It's just indulgent.
Yeah.
Like, I see people criticize him for like designing Quiet a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, she breathes through her skin. That's why she has to dress like this. It's like, dude, just say, I want a fucking hot, scantily clad babe in my game.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to make your excuse? Like, there has to be some backstory about why she's wearing so little clothes. He just never says no to himself. That's how everything that he writes is.
Yeah.
I think the president of the country should be the bad guy. And also, he's another snake.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, man. Just everything about that game is so good.
Yeah.
So good. Just like getting flashbacks of it, like even like all the talks when you're in the cell with the DARPA chief, and like it's just so well done. For being such an old game, it just had so much going for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of anything.
Did I just see they're going to re-release them?
Yeah, I believe so. I can't think of anything on PlayStation 1 that like has as good of a story. I mean, Final Fantasy VII.
You never played Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII was good, but
yeah,
I'm also not as much of a
JRPG
fantasy, even, which I mean, I know like Metal Gear's on the border, but it's still it's much more in touch with reality than a Final Fantasy series.
I had a visceral reaction to that, but I can't exactly put into words why. I don't.
You're wrong, but I don't know why.
I mean, I guess you're right on some level. Like, no. I was gonna say because magic exists in Final Fantasy, but fucking magic exists in Metal Gear too.
Does it?
A dude doesn't have to eat or drink because moss is growing in his body, Josh. What is that if it's not magic?
Well, I mean, the whole point of this stuff is like genome experimentation and stuff. So like, it's tied more to, I think, supposed to be like scientific stuff. Granted, like they're not doing that now, you know. But I think that's more tied towards that than be magic.
The president can electrify himself.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like, this is magic.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
He literally took a plot point from Idle Hands, which is you can be possessed by somebody by having one of their body parts on them. That's fucking magic.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't think about that. I don't know.
I didn't think about it until you made me think about it just now. You forced this on me.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna say it now, and I'm gonna die on this hill. Metal Gear's a better series. Come for me.
I think that's arguable, but to say that it's more realistic.
I mean, it definitely is. Like the characters are more relatable than most of the characters in Final Fantasy.
Okay, like a cactus doesn't talk in Metal Gear Solid, but
exactly. And like, I could believe Snake is a real person.
Snake is a real person, but that's because he's a person.
I know. Well, I mean, yes, grown in a laboratory.
Okay, but like, I don't know. This is funny. This is a funny argument.
I mean, it's not really an argument. I don't even think it's just
it's a funny hill to die on.
Yeah. I liked 7. I liked 10. The rest of the Final Fantasy games were meh me.
I never really played.
I tried to play 10 too. I played through 8 and 9. I played through
10-2 is no good.
I played through 2 and 3 on Super Nintendo. Well, 3 on Super. Just
6. You mean? I'm gonna be that guy?
Well, yes, but Going by the label.
Yeah. I didn't play through 6, but I listened to a podcast where 3 video game critics played through 6, so it's just as good.
I live my life through other people's experiences. Yeah.
I'm not gonna put fucking 70 hours into a poorly translated game.
This is true.
I'll listen to other people do it.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's go into another hard-hitting question. Hard-hitting.
Yeah.
God brain work.
Do words.
Least favorite character.
Oh my god. I have no idea. You go first. I'm going to scroll through my library and see if it sounded like I said library. I did put an R in there. It's library. Thank you.
No, he meant the other one. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No. Okay, you go. I'm going to see if I can figure out my least favorite character in a video game.
I am drawing. Yeah, I'm surprised you can't guess it. I really am. Or maybe you can. Let's see if you can guess mine before I say it.
Hint?
Nope, no hints.
Fuck. No. Is it Traherne?
It 100% is Traherne. Fuck that guy.
Now, if you played any more of Guild Wars 2, it would be far and away Bram.
I don't know.
Bram is such a whiny little bitch boy.
I don't know.
That may take mine.
No, Traherne is just the worst, and he always will be.
Nope.
Yep. Traherne is...
This is a hill that I will die on. Bram is at least 10 times worse than Traherne in Guild Wars 2.
No, Traherne is the OG annoyance.
Nah.
I couldn't stand the sound of Traherne's voice acting so much that I had a macro thing for push to mute for Guild Wars so that when I was leveling characters through the story, I could mute the game when he was in a cutscene.
Okay, here's my counter to that is the writing in the base game of Guild Wars 2 was not very good, right?
Okay.
And the voice acting wasn't very good because it was so stilted. It was in like that weird pseudo cutscene thing. Yeah. Like it was so stilted. So Traherne probably got done dirty by that format.
Nah, he just a bitch.
You want to see a bitch? You play through like Path of Fire and Living World Season 4 of Guild Wars 2, and Bram is the biggest bitch. I saw a character in Guild Wars. Someone made a character in Guild Wars 2. They modeled them after Bram because this is a hobby in Guild Wars 2. It's endgame content, Fashion Wars, right? Someone made a character that looked like Bram. Their name, Air's Mistake. Air's his mother. Because he was a fucking mistake. She shouldn't have had him. She should have left him up in the mountains for the fucking wolves or some shit. Like, this dude fucking sucks.
I don't know.
So hard.
I will always
Even after the writing in the game and the voice acting in the game got better, Bram still sucks.
Nicole has to be the deciding factor. Is she a Traherne or a Bram? Hate her more.
Hey Nicole, do you hate Bram or Traherne worse? Yeah, I think I hate Bram better. I agree with my husband. Thanks, Nicole. Oh God! Do you want me to get her in here so that she can settle this?
Well, she just was in there. Fun fact is he's married to himself, and it's just a figment of his imagination. He doesn't actually have a wife.
Am I fight clubbing myself?
Yeah.
That must be why I wake up with so many bruises.
Or it could be the 5 cats that probably use you as a bounce pad while you're sleeping.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it's probably the cats. Yeah. I did almost lose an eye once because one of the fucking idiots fell off of the headboard.
Dude, they love doing that. That's all right. I was sleeping. I took a nap the other day, and so like the way my bed is, basically at foot level of my bed is a window that the air conditioner's in. So I have but I have curtains that go over it normally, but I just have them kind of like clipped together in the center and then pushed apart at the bottom so that the air conditioner, it doesn't get blocked.
Yeah.
Well, like Noodle decides that he needs to go into the window all the time, so I constantly have to fix it. But
why wouldn't he want to go in the window? What a fucking idiot you are.
Yeah. So I'm laying there taking a nap, and all of a sudden I just feel something fall across me, and he got himself tumbled inside of the things and ripped the entire curtain rod and curtain off of the wall.
These little morons.
I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Oh, man.
Incredible.
Yep.
Incredible.
Wow.
Oh, no, Josh. I just used a slur.
Yeah, I forgot who I had that conversation with. Was it you?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
You were like, is moron a slur?
Yeah, I was hearing it.
No.
Oh, we can bring this up.
You heard it on someone tweeted it at Quirtle.
Yeah, yes. That's what it was about.
Moron's a slur. I'm like, do people not know the difference between a slur and an insult? Like, yeah, it's an insult, but it's not a slur. Who is it referring to?
I mean, it was like a medical term back in the day, but to refer to people that had, I guess, physical disability. Like, I don't know. Words are just based on context. Like, nobody uses it as that anymore. Unless you know, who would know that if they didn't look it up?
I looked it up and I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not like a super well-known thing, I don't think. But here's another fun thing. On the topic of video games, somebody just got disqualified from competing in a tournament for teabagging because there is a big movement going across the internet that teabagging is now sexual assault.
Oh my God.
I'm just like,
Jesus.
when does it stop?
Deliver us.
I mean, come on.
What?
Just like, I mean, yes, can it be excessive? Is it needed? No, but it's funny. And I mean, if you think about it, it happened because not everybody had microphones, and it was a way of flexing on somebody when you beat the crap out of them in a video game.
Disqualifying seems like the wrong punishment.
Yeah.
Do the NFL thing. Make it excessive celebration, levy a fine.
Yeah. I don't even know, man. It just... It's crazy because none of the players have a problem with it, or at least none that have spoken up. So it's like it's just the internet as a whole coming for it.
Well, it's Twitter people.
Yeah.
I mean, the internet as a whole doesn't have a problem with it. It is, but this is a thing. I don't know what it is. There's just a few people on Twitter, right? It's so stupid. It's new. It's the news too. Like, I always see it. Like, oh, people on Twitter are freaking out about this or that or the other thing. I found 3 tweets about people saying this stupid shit they wanted to write an article about anyway.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
I mean, Twitter is definitely the mouth diarrhea of social media.
Yeah, right? Who needs it? On Twitter to fuck that, bro.
Love it. I love it. But my feed is normally, tailored to what I like. So I see a lot of gaming news and...
True. Yeah. I'm so bad at it. I really tried to make my personal Twitter like usable.
Oh, I use it in the sense that like I read stuff on Twitter, but I don't really post on any social media. I don't care enough about the things that I do that I don't think that anybody else gives a fuck.
Yep.
So I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, it's humility by definition, but I guarantee I'm fucking way more humble than you.
Yeah, probably. Although I know I know that we both
shit about shit.
Well, that's the thing. We both posted this. Our most recent thing is both the same, and it's that Jay's 2 cent contest.
Yeah, that's not even our words.
Nope, we just retweet.
Speaking of that, fucking Gleam.
Oh, I hate Gleam. I wish someone else used it.
No, I like Gleam on its own.
No, I hate it.
Gleam and Twitch together are fucking nightmare fuel. I was trying to enter this thing. Follow me on Twitch. Okay, I'll click the link. Click the link. It brings me to Twitch. I'm not following him. Okay, I'll click the follow. Twitch says, open in the app. I go, okay, I'll open it in the app. I open it in the app. I'm already following him. So I go back. to Gleam.
Yeah, it's just because it's on the phone. It's just because it's on the phone. It sucks on the phone.
because the Twitch mobile site,
it's garbage.
It's hot.
Hot
Finally,
trash.
I figured out what was going on. I was logged in on my wrong account on the mobile site
But
of
not on
Twitch.
the app. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll just log out. You can't. You can't log out on the mobile Twitch site.
It's just hot ass. Yeah.
I don't even mean like, I want to impress this on you. I don't mean I couldn't find it. I don't mean that it was difficult to do. I mean, if you are on m.twitch.tv, you cannot log out.
I need to go check this now.
I swear to God, if you click the hamburger, it is like privacy policy.
Yeah, you're
terms and conditions. There is no account
Cookies,
button.
Toggle light.
There is nothing. There's no subscription list. There is nothing. You cannot log out of your account unless you switch over to the desktop site. Stupidest shit I've ever seen. All right. That was my little mini rant. I don't rant about a lot of stuff on here, but
that might be an Apple thing or an Apple and Google thing. Because if you can't log in and you have to log into the app, because if you could log in mobily, right, and the thing, then you could spend money mobily, and then Apple or Google don't get a percentage of subscriptions.
You can log in.
I can't even log. I don't even have a login spot.
You're already logged in then. It doesn't let you on if you're not logged in. I clicked the link on Gleam. It brought me to Twitch, said log in. I logged in. My password manager, maybe it was my mistake. I think my password manager filled in the wrong account information.
No, I'm not.
Different account information.
I'm not logged in.
Okay, then. I don't know then.
Like, I physically can't log in. There is just open app. That's it. There's nowhere else for me. Like, it doesn't
Try clicking that open app button.
Yeah, then it'll open my app.
Does it actually?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm logged into the app, but I'm not on here. And I'm telling you, I think that's probably by design. Because if you can't do, like, I can't log in, I can't mobily do anything. Like, I'm just gonna click on somebody. Let me go to.
How does Safari work? Can you do request desktop site?
Yes.
Then what does it matter?
Because it doesn't allow you to. I can click request desktop site, and it just refreshes right back to mobile.
I don't. That is.
I'm telling you, it has to do. I'm gonna bet that it has to do with that.
You know what?
They don't want people to get around subscribing.
Let me check something.
And money by
fucking ringtones. Every single time I pick up my phone, it does a ringtone that you need to edit out.
Just gotta mute your thing, put it on vibrate.
I literally just did. It didn't give me a fucking second to do that.
It was like, he touched me, blah. We're not editing that one out. That one's staying in for the point of the conversation.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have addressed it.
Hey, everybody, listen to this. Comment at wherever you're listening to them and tell them to put it on vibrate. Yell at them.
And this microphone is so sensitive that it would probably even pick up a vibration. I have to turn on silent. Which
mine's on vibrate, but it's on my
recording.
pad, so it muffles the vibration.
Yeah, but you got an iPhone, so it's a weak ass little bitch vibrate. I have no idea if that's true.
It's not.
I didn't think so.
Actually, the vibration motor and stuff in an iPhone is considered to be the best, which is why in iOS 16, when they introduced the haptic keyboard, MKBHD said that it has the best haptic feeling keyboard that he's ever used because of the vibration motor.
Oh,
which I was surprised to hear.
From MKBHD, you were?
Yeah. Well, I was just surprised to hear that that's something that it was even focused on.
What? Okay, you know what? I was going to go to the mobile Twitch site on Google Chrome on my phone to see if I could use the open an app button and if I was having the same issues as I was on Firefox. But yeah, Google Chrome's straight up fucking broken. So I can't click
I don't use Google Chrome at all anymore. Google Chrome has just become like a cesspool of a browser.
Yeah. I mean, this is on my phone. It's a Google phone running Google Android with Google Chrome on it. and it doesn't work? Okay. Come on. Get real. Firefox. I'll never switch away from it. Why did people ever switch away from Firefox?
Because it used to have the same problem that Chrome now has. It used to be a horrible resource hog. And then Chrome was really lightweight. And then they were like, hey, let's add all this stuff to Chrome that nobody cares about. And now Chrome eats your RAM like it's never touched food before.
Yeah.
Well, on to
QUIRK.
The next question on the topic.
Let's go.
As we wandered off there for a minute. What character do you feel has the best character development throughout its gaming lifespan?
I don't know.
Every question I've asked, I don't know.
No, I don't think I actually have an answer for this. I don't play enough of these types of games to have an actual answer for this. Like, I know that like Red Dead Redemption and The Last of Us, stuff like that is the types of answers that people would actually give. But I don't think I play enough franchise games to see a development of a character across several different games that I think is significant.
My answer is Kratos.
Yeah.
God of War 1 versus the new God of War on.
I haven't even played those.
Oh man, it's so good. It's different.
I have heard,
but man, just amazing.
What are you eating?
Nothing.
I addressed my ringtone. I can't not address that.
Well, you see, Sour Patch has now made individual bags of Sour Patch grape candies. Ooh. Just grapes. Just Sour Patch grapes.
Interesting.
And they're delicious. So I was indulging on one of those.
Good. Have you had the Nerds Rope Bites or whatever they're called?
I have not.
They're very good. If you like Nerds Ropes, they're good. They're like bite-sized Nerds Ropes.
Yeah, I would definitely like them then, I'm sure.
So, yeah, I still don't think I have an answer for which character has the best character development. Maybe like the square from Geometry Dash. It does a lot more new shit now.
It does I mean, I've never played him, so I guess I don't know, but I just don't picture it. I don't picture it having any kind of good character development in that game.
It's not an actual character. Oh. You're just a square.
It's just a square? Oh, okay.
It's just a square.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I literally have to base this on like single games. I don't think I've played enough franchises to really answer this, but Celeste is a good story with character development. This, the girl really overcomes insecurity and anxiety throughout the game. In VVVVVV, the dude like finds his whole crewmate and rescues his captain, through gravity-based shenanigans. Oh boy, Crash Bandicoot collects a whole lot of Wumpa fruit. Goat Simulator, you keep licking and you keep jumping. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's understandable. Do you have a most overrated character? A character that either gets a lot of love or hate that you don't agree with, I guess I'll say.
This, I think, this, honestly, Master Chief.
You think it gets too much hype or not enough?
Yeah, no, too much. This is overrated.
Huh?
Although, okay. To be fair, to argue against my own opinion, I haven't actually played through the campaign of all of the games. So maybe he does have. Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't even think I've played through those. I never finished 1.
I played 1 and 2 at Adam's house.
Yeah.
My most overrated character that people seem to be infatuated with.
Yeah.
It's Tom Nook. I don't understand why people are infatuated with him. He is the stupidest character.
My man, he provides you a 0-interest loan, though.
He's just dummy. He's just this big stupid head.
Yeah, I know. What is he not going to charge you like a prime +1 interest?
Way to be old.
What? That's something that you just learn by osmosis at 30.
Exactly. Old.
How dare you? I am going to keep going until the fire inside dies and expires at 30. Oh, wait. Am I pinching nurses' asses while I'm jacking off with jerkins?
Oh, man.
I am.
I guess my last question then would be, is there a character that is a big letdown for you? Something that you think they could have done much more with and didn't take advantage of it?
You know which video game character is a big letdown for me? Tiger Woods.
What?
Because he turned out to be a big fucking doo-doo head.
But he's a real person, not a video game character.
There's a video game series based on it.
Yeah.
Letdown characters, huh? All these are just going to be joke answers for me because I really don't know. You know, maybe one of my favorite video game characters, going back to that, is GLaDOS from Portal.
Okay, I could see that.
The robot lady. She's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely her. Actually, no, I'm going to revise that answer. Her, because she is just sort of like evil robot lady in Portal 1, but in Portal 2, she like gets a whole bunch of character development.
Okay.
And yeah, that's my revised answer for favorite character, GLaDOS.
Acceptable. I was kind of expecting something like that, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I think my biggest letdown of a character that I think they could have done more with is Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell series. I think those games could have been so much more, and I just don't think they, especially coming from books, I just think that they could have had much better character-driven stories.
Does Splinter Cell have a story?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not anything super memorable, and that's what I think with that style of game they really could, because I mean it's not a far off shoot of like Metal Gear as far as like styling, except you have more. It's more stealth. Like you're pretty much forced to be more stealth, and it's more technology based stuff, but I think there was an opportunity for them to have like really good story-based gameplay alongside of it, and I don't think they took advantage of it at all. Yeah, I enjoyed playing them, and I mean I've read a couple of the books, and they're way more in depth than obviously the video game allows.
I can imagine. Yeah.
So I think that they missed an opportunity there. I also think that they could have made really, really good movies out of them as well. I mean, just think about how much people love like the Bourne movies, stuff like that. I mean, it would only Mission Impossible style stuff. Like I just feel like the people would love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there've been a bunch of Tom Clancy movies, right?
There's been like spin-offs of them, but nothing that was like specifically Splinter Cell. Oh,
of Splinter, right? But like Tom Clancy is an author.
Yeah, correct.
Like, there have been Tom Clancy movies.
Yep, definitely.
Jeez, I'm all over the place here. My pick for most overrated character is the entirety of Undertale.
Oh, okay.
Every character in Undertale is overrated.
You just hate them?
There's just like not that much to them, despite what people think. There's just not much to them. It would be like saying that the knight from Hollow Knight is like one of the best characters. He doesn't say anything. You're just controlling a blank slate.
Yeah.
And honestly, Undertale's a little bit the same way. I played through like, I don't know, half of it. Maybe it gets better and is fucking subversive and revolutionary, but Undertale, just get out of here with it.
I hear that. Well, I think that is a wrap up for what I have on my discussion.
Yeah, that's probably all right.
Yeah, I didn't have as much, I guess, to say as we normally do, but that's because I sprung questions on you that you didn't have easy answers for, which makes it hard to talk about. I just like talked to you about like acres for like 10 minutes, so whatever. We'll see how this sounds. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Yeah, enjoy the outro, which we're about to record. Yeah. Bye. Bye. Thank you and congratulations for making it to the end of this episode of QUIRK on the Street. We have been your hosts, Vince and Josh. You can find us on our socials. You can find us on Twitter at QUIRK on the Street, QURD on the ST.
If you're listening to us on YouTube /Quirk on the Street, go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you're listening to us, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you can leave a review, please leave us a review. If you tell us what we can do worse, I promise I will read it on the podcast unless it's just too mean.
If you have any need to contact us in a longer format, you can email us at quirkonthestreet@gmail.com, or you can visit us on our website, quirkonthestreet.xyz. Feel free to leave us a voice message on there. If you want to reach out to us individually, you can get a hold of us at our personal Twitters. Mine is @I'mScuzzy, IMSKUZZEY.
And I am @V_C, spell out the underscore. We would finally like to acknowledge the people that made this podcast happen. Josh Wardle, who is the original creator of Wordle.
And Freddie Meyer, the creator of Quordle, who you can find on Twitter @Quordle.
And with that, we will just ask you, as always, to get the cord out.